So I have the numbers. I guess it's possible these could be a little bit off, but I double-checked them, so I don't know that they're really off, okay? I have Zac Gallen's ERA when Gabby Moreno catches and Zac Gallen's ERA when Jose Herrera catches this year. All right? Do you want these numbers?
Okay, yeah.
You're getting them either way.
Good.
So Zac Gallen has 10 starts. 4 of them Herrera has caught. Gallen's ERA is 2.59 in those. Right, that's the 2 Mets games. The Dodgers game where he actually got kind of lit up, 4 earned runs and 5 2/3. But it was the Dodgers, and then his 6 innings, 2 earned runs against the Brewers. So a 2.59 ERA in the 4 games that he has pitched where Jose Herrera has caught. His ERA with Gabby Moreno catching, and again, take this for what it's worth. I'm not trying to 6.89.
Okay.
And in that 6.89 was his gem against the Yankees, where he gave up 0 earned runs over 6 2/3.
Wow.
So his other starts this season with Moreno, 4 runs against the Cubs, 5 against the Orioles, 6 against the Cubs, 3 against the Braves, and 6 against the Rockies.
Okay, so, what do you make of that? Where do you start on that one?
It's probably still too early to read too much into it because you're talking about 4 starts with Herrera.
Yeah.
And 6 with Moreno. And Rick brought up a good point earlier, too. Like, you're giving up a ton of batting average when you go from Moreno to Herrera. But if this is, real, I'll give up the batting average points, honestly. Yeah. I won't even think twice.
You know what's so interesting about it as well? The dynamic of a pitcher pretty much calling the games. The way that a catcher used to do it back in the day, so to speak. Now it's a lot of the pitcher that is actually calling the game as well. So... I wonder how much that really impacts a starting pitcher like Zac Gallen at this point in time.
Honestly, the guy who would know would be Zac Gallen. Just go ask him. Do you feel more comfortable with Jose? It's not like Gabby Moreno's getting cut. He'll just catch the other 4 games probably. Yeah. But do you feel more comfortable with Jose Herrera? Like you said earlier, Wolf, there's been plenty of pitchers who kind of had their own personal catcher.
Yeah.
Plenty of Hall of Fame pitchers that had their own personal catcher.
Clayton Kershaw, and they just cut his.
Yeah.
Rick just couldn't wait to jump on the mic and actually say that. Just cut his.
God.
You're
Former
gone.
ASU star Austin Barnes.
True. Don't the Dodgers have one of the best catching prospects in all of baseball? Dalton Rushing, isn't it?
Sure.
Yeah, they always do.
Yeah, it's just a situation right now where Gabby Moreno, is he not Yachty? Is he not the Diamondbacks' Yachty Molina? I believe he is. Ultimately. Now, I realize that this season has been a little rough right now for a lot of guys, not just Gabby Moreno, but a lot of guys, I think. And I think he's also starting to come out of it a little bit as well.
You agree, though, if these numbers were legit, if Zac Gallen, if you went to Gallen with these numbers and he's like, yeah, that's totally how I feel. Gabby's awesome. He's a great player on our team, but for whatever reason, when I pitch, I'm just more comfortable with Jose Herrera. You agree that that's it, right? Jose Herrera is his catcher. Don't you feel like getting Gallen on track as a pitcher is more important?
If he actually said that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever
do
would.
Do I believe that's the case? I don't.
I don't either.
I don't believe he would do that. Somebody's going to have to say that for me to believe that.
Well, but what if the numbers keep saying that? What if we go 5 more starts and Gabby starts 3 of them and Gallen struggles and Herrera starts 2 and Gallen's great?
Yeah.
Then it's at a certain point.
I so much of the time, base earnings on this stuff, I stand up on the side of personal accountability. Personal accountability. I didn't have to have this kicker for me to run down the field and break the wedge. All right? I didn't have to have A, B, and C. I didn't have to have everything aligned, I guess is what I'm saying. I think for a professional athlete, you don't look at a lot of the factors and variables that surround your paradigm or your outing or your game, whatever it is you're competing at. I think you can overanalyze way too much stuff instead of just going out there and being yourself. Now, again, am I going to sit here and pretend like I know what it's like to work with a catcher closely and build up this rapport between us all and how much it's really going to impact? I know this much right now, base earnings. I know that the best pitchers in the history of the game didn't have a personal catcher. The best. They just go out there and do their job. That's what they do. And that's what I would like to see.
I want to get to Jordan Lawlar, too. This is Torey Lovello on Bickley and Murata this morning talking about that whole situation. Right now, Jordan Lawlar has 8 at-bats. They called him up last Monday. He has 8 at-bats, no hits, 5 strikeouts. You can be upset by any of those numbers. It could be the no hits. It could be the 5 strikeouts. It could be the fact he only has 8 at-bats in a full week, so it's kind of hard to build any sort of momentum. Here's Lovello.
It's a tough situation. We got to thread the needle just fine, but really what we got to do is continue to back Jordan. He's the same player a month ago where I would have to answer questions, whether it be from listeners or fans, like, why is Jordan Lawlar not here? Well, he's not here because he has to work on X, Y, and Z. So we know that. And even though the results showed that he was the best player in AAA, there were still some things he was working on. But we pulled the trigger when we felt like it was the right time. And it's not just the offense. It's the interference call at second base, or the obstruction call at second base. It's getting out there on cuts and relays and being in the right place and being demonstrative, asking for the baseball. It's a lot of those little things that go inside of a baseball game that make it run smoothly when you come here, so you don't have to worry about anything because you're trump tight. At the end of it, we made this call because he was ready, and he's going to continue to get time. So I've got to space out some days off for certain guys at certain times. He's going to play probably 3 days a week. He's been on that schedule, and he's going to figure this out. He's going to be an extraordinary player. We know what he's capable of doing, and we got to give him his time.
Yeah, there's a lot there.
Yeah. Where do you start? Because to me, it's the playing time. It's not the 0 hits.
What do you mean?
I don't look at Jordan Lawlar after 8 at-bats and be like, oh, this guy can't hit Major League. It's not that. It's just I can't believe they would call him up for him to get 8 at-bats a week. That's not what they were talking about, so I don't think that's what they are hoping to do.
Yes, I'm with you on that one. Right now, is anyone kind of scratching your butt? Maybe you just got off the tractor and you're scratching your butt and you're like, man, why did you call him up right now? Why, he was doing well down at AAA, of course, and I know you felt like it was the time to call him up. I just don't know if 8 at-bats is something I expected over the last week.
Me either, and I go back to something you said last week. They must have had a reason that wasn't just he's due, right, or he's earned the promotion. That would be my question. It would be, why did you call him up?
Well, Ketel Marte has hit 3 home runs since he's been burned. I'm just saying right now.
They must have had some reason, right?
Yeah, I honestly, I don't believe that based on
but it might have been where they worried that Ketel was hurt when they called him up. Maybe he isn't now. I don't know.
Maybe that's what it is right there. They were worried about Ketel Marte and thought they were going to be able to get Jordan Lawlar all these at-bats. That has not materialized right now, but we'll see. I think the next 3-4 games.
Yeah. I'm
really interested to see how much action he gets.
Especially because you played against the Rockies your last few. Like, it would have been nice if he got in on the party in that game, and he played in that game. They lost 14-12. It would have been nice if he was in on the party, right? Like, yeah, we lost 14-12, but Jordan Lawlar got 3 hits and drove in 2 or something. But yeah, that would be my question. Why'd you call him up right now? Not like rhetorically, but just like, did you call him up because he earned it, or did you call him up because you thought somebody was going to be missing time?
Thanks for watching Wolf and Luke. Tap to see more and click the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.